take away from that road trip from the Oilmen?
I'll tell you what, it was hard fought the entire time. I got to give credit to the guys that did come out. Obviously, we talk about it all the time. I feel like we mention it every single game. Scheduling issues really reign supreme here in the Northern League, whether that's scheduling issues on which ballpark we can use, what field we can play on, or which guys show up to the stadium. And there was times where, Tyler's uncle had to throw on the black and golds and come out for us, but it was hard-fought baseball the entire time. 3 games in Elkhart County, 1 game at Griffith, 1 game at Highland, and all 5 games hard-fought, really tough battles. Even the game where we absolutely clobbered the Indiana Panthers, it was still a hard-fought ball game through and through, and they're looking to continue that with Thomas Haggerty on the mound today.
Yeah, that Panthers team doesn't give you anything for free. We've both observed that. And in this game, this is a series between these two teams that has been dominated by the Oilmen. Griffin, what's it going to take for the Vikings to come out here and turn the tides in the history of their matchup here against us?
They've had a lot of trouble, earlier in this year, just, starting out hot, just jumping up and, getting the lead early on. And, as, we've seen these last 4 or 5 games, they've done exactly that. It's just finishing the game that's honestly just been the most troubling part for them.
And that'll certainly make things interesting. And John, Oilman trying to stay atop the Northern League. What's it going to take for them to come out here and pick up the win?
It's got to remain consistent. Doesn't have a huge lineup today from Tyler's uncle, but the guys that we have today are good ball players and got to play good baseball, and that's all that really required.
So as we step away, when we return, we'll have some action for you live from Oil City Stadium. You are watching the pregame show here on the Oilman Sports Network.
Candace, we're getting multiple reports of this mysterious but powerful phenomena. People are experiencing a sound, after which they drop everything, and I mean everything, and run to their nearest White Castle. Now, we are urging folks to stay calm. There's no evidence that this...
Richard, we're live.
When the crave calls,
Richard, we're live.
Go to White Castle for the $5 bacon bundle with 2 bacon sliders and a small fry. White Castle. Follow your crave.
Hey, thanks for the backup.
Hot summer nights, blue skies, and baseball. Nothing beats those 3 things when they come together. And tonight, those 3 things have come together. A crowded park here at Oil City Stadium in Whiting, Indiana. And here in the Brick House, a packed stadium as well. I'm John Mastay, joined alongside Hammond Vikings broadcaster Griffin Winnicky, as well as my partner in crime. And we do commit a lot of crimes here at Oil City, Charlie Schmidgall. Gentlemen, we just did the pregame show, talked a little bit, but Griffin, always great to have you here. Charlie, great to see you once again. And who's ready for baseball?
I absolutely am. I said it earlier, and I cannot wait. It's been a few long days without baseball.
It's been a long few days without baseball for you, and a long couple of days without being here at Oil City. Charlie, like you mentioned in our pregame show, coming off of a 5-game road series, finally being back here at Oil City. I know Mike Jones is happy for it, but I'm happy for it as well. And we're going to see Thomas Haggerty on the mound today. What can you tell us about Tommy Gunn on the mound?
Yeah, when you take a look at Thomas Haggerty, he's going to go out there and he's going to give you a lot of strikeouts. He's got devastating movement on his pitches. He's got a really nice arsenal of stuff that he's going to work with. Obviously, you and I and anyone who's watched a lot of these games are aware of the potential downside through his 4 starts. Haggerty obviously has been good through those starts. He's given up 15 hits. Only problem, 10 earned runs, 18 walks, but he still struck out 27. So as long as he's able to keep his control on his pitches today and avoid hurting himself by loading the bases, he's going to take care of business pretty well.
Thomas Haggerty coming in this game with a 4.10 ERA and a whip rate of 180. Like you said, Charlie, not going to be a lot of hits today from the Vikings. And now, granted, that is due to the fact the Vikings struggle with plate discipline, Griffin. But it really comes down to, is Haggerty walking or is he striking? And we'll see it with first pitch here, which comes in, floats high. A lot of movement on that pitch, and you'll see that a lot from Haggerty.
Yeah, and Nick Mangano coming up. Usually likes to try and start off early, swinging at the first pitch he gets. His, first strike sees right there. He puts it foul, though.
The PNW alumni at bat right now. Taking a look at the defensive charts here for the Oilmen today. Thomas Haggerty and Jake Levine make up your battery. As third pitch there wheels in for Haggerty's first thrown strike of the day. Left to right on the infield is Farrell, Gould, Razai, and Denton at first base. And the outside pitch there can't get reined in for a strike. And left to right in the outfield is Isaiah White, Ryan Henschel, and Zamarion Hatcher. And Charlie, we always talk about how great our Oilman outfield can truly be. As strike three there, Mangano goes down looking. He's going to say a few choice words to the umpire here, all under the discourse of information.
Yeah, not happy with that outside pitch, but a great off-speed right there by Haggerty, trying to establish maybe the outside zone a little bit earlier. That brings up Parker Engel for the Vikings.
A good start there for Thomas Haggerty, who, like you mentioned, Charlie, has struggled in the last couple of outings here. His first ever appearance here at Oil City was phenomenal, and since then he's just been trying to get back to his first outing appearance.
Yeah, and he's had a little bit of extra rest. He was going to originally throw last Thursday, but wound up being out of town. So he's got a well-rested arm, just got to go out there and hope we don't see any rust today.
So here is Parker Engel for the Hammond Vikings. Playing second base for Hammond today. That one floats outside.
Yeah, and Engel hasn't really played recently, but in the 5 games that he has appeared in for the Vikings, swings and misses on that one. He's hit 188, sort of struggling on it, but he is a very good option when he's out there on the field, as he's playing second base today. One of the better options out there is Preston Lund is playing first base, moving over from second.
2-2 pitches swung on and missed there from Engel. 2 back-to-back strikeouts in 2 separate ways from Haggerty. And already looking to start this game much better than he has previously. That brings up Lestina now for the Vikings.
And Lestina, through these 8 games, leading the Vikings with a .33 average. He's done a very good job getting the bat in the ball. Also selected to the Northern League All-Star game.
First pitch, a strike there from Haggerty.
Lestina comes all the way from Trinity College out in Texas. Plays over here. His dad did play basketball at Wabash.
Lestina pops this one up into right field, and that's going to drop for the first hit of the day for the Vikings, and first hit of the day, period, for either squads. And so Haggerty doesn't go 3 up, 3 down, and that will bring up Lund now. And Charlie, something we've kind of seen Haggerty struggle with a little bit here is getting 2 outs and then kind of struggling to find that third one. So in this moment, what do you think he's got to do to really finally reel in number 3, as he doesn't want to continue the pattern he's had all season?
Yeah, just got to go out there, throw strikes, trust that your stuff is better than what they're going to be bringing to the plate. I mean, you've got plus velocity and plus movement. If you're struggling with the moving stuff, just throw it, use the speed, and hope you can blow one by, or maybe even trust the defense.
And that's one of the things that Haggerty, who does a pickoff attempt here against Lestina, Haggerty's got a wide variety of pitches. He's got everything but the kitchen sink is what he throws. And that's the one thing I feel like he hasn't really achieved yet, is having that one pitch, all reliable, as they call it, something he can really go to just get himself around. He's great on the movement, but I don't feel like he's ever been comfortable with just his fastball. And so hopefully that's something he can learn to develop here. Another toss back to first. Lestina is safe. It is Preston Lund now in the batter's box. A 1-1 count on him from Haggerty.
Lund tied for first on this team with singles, or actually tied for second, excuse me. He's tied with Mangano. There's Owen Bendis, who we will see up next.
Haggerty's arsenal: a 4-seam fastball, a 2-seam fastball, a slider, and a changeup. His slider actually comes in slower than his changeup does. And as a pitcher, you can always try to, it's a Build-A-Bear workshop on the mound. You can always mix and match pitches, different hand forms with different arm slots to really get a different movements out there. That's why you see a lot of balls coming across and over the plate from Haggerty. And that one called a strike there. Lund was ready to toss it back to the back rack.
Yeah, Lund, I mean, I've seen that a lot. I mean, that happens a lot with the Vikings, just trying to maybe sway the umpire's decision on a close strike. Didn't go his way this time.
Let me tell you something. It hurts you more than it helps you trying to make a decision before an umpire does. Runner goes, and he will be in there standing up as Lund takes a walk, moves Lestina over to second, and that brings up Bendis now for the Vikings here with 2 outs.
Yep, Bendis coming in, 267 average. He's really picked it up since the start of the year. Didn't really hit the ball well enough early on, but stepped on full throttle so far.
Haggerty trying to tighten the reins here before it gets too far gone. First pitch, a ball. The Oilmen do not have much in the name of relief today. Couch is expected to make an appearance today, and it might just be whoever else is feeling like pitching at one point. Do not know if Tyler's uncle is there. He hasn't listed himself on the sheet. Runners on first and second. Haggerty looks back. Just skates inside for strike 2. 1-2 now here against Bendis. Haggerty trying to get out of this top of the first. The Oilmen have historically done a great job offensively in the early innings against the Vikings. It's easier to name games that have ended early than it is to not. But you got to play offense first. Pitch from Haggerty. High sweeping curveball there. Is fouled off by Bendis.
He's got a lot of nice movement behind that curveball. I'm pretty excited to see, kind of how it progresses through this game.
1-2 pitches delivered again and fouled off just shy of the line. And Charlie, you and I, mainly you, were talking to Haggerty a little bit before the game. He said he felt good. He hasn't pitched in a while, so he was excited to get out here and pitch today. And, sometimes having a lot of days off can both help and hurt a pitcher. And so you hope that doesn't hurt Haggerty here throughout the remainder. And a swing and a miss there gets Haggerty out of the top of the first. So 5 up and 3 down as we head into the bottom of the first here on the Oilmen Sports Network.
Safety isn't a list of boxes to check. It's taking the best technologies out there and adapting them to work for you. The ultrasound that can see inside patients can also detect early signs of corrosion at our refineries. High-tech military cameras that see through walls can inspect our pipelines to prevent leaks. Remote-controlled aircraft can help us identify potential problems and stop them in their tracks. At BP, safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better.
Who is the IBEW? We're the people who bring the power to your home, the ones who make sure your phone calls and internet keep speeding along. We build things like schools and hospitals. We bring the biggest shows and sporting events to the world, keep America's railroads on the right track, help cities, states, and the federal government work for you. And we proudly build products made in the USA. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, the IBEW.
Caden Cumsey will take the ball here on the mound for the Vikings. And Griffin, you and I were talking a little bit about this guy before the game today. And what can you tell our lovely audience here today on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Sports Network about him?
Yeah, Cumsey's last start was actually last month, June 17th, when he went against the Panthers. Pitched 4 innings. Actually had a no-hitter through that and 8 strikeouts. His last appearance was a 1-inning relief against the Generals. Cumsey, don't expect him to go super far into this game, as there is Anthony Mangano and David Anderson at Coach Hunt's disposal today. Cumsey likes to start early with the off-speed, but he's got a nice fastball, and I really like the velocity behind it too.
It'll be Isaiah White, Denton, and Levine 1, 2, 3 here for the Oilmen. That's the way Zunkel lays it out.
Out there for the Vikings, Cumsey pitcher. Damon Brenna back from injury, catching again from third to first. It's Lestina, Mangano, Parker Engel, Preston Lund. out there from left to right, that is Owen Bendis, Dre Allred, and Zachary Norwine.
Brenna will make his final signals to the field. They'll get the balls rolling in. By the way, I mentioned it earlier when we started our broadcast, how it's a packed park tonight. It truly is. This is far and away the most people in attendance we have seen this year here at Oil City, and it's finally nice to actually get a really heavily sized crowd at the confines today.
It's a great holiday weekend, and I couldn't ask for better weather, to be honest. It's beautiful out here today.
Well, you could ask. You might not get it, but...
Well, this is
as good as weather as you're going to
weather.
get. As good as you're going to get, right? Sometimes you don't get. You always don't get what you want, Griffin. You got to remember that. So it brings up Isaiah White, stepping into the right-handed batter's box. Not fully, but kind of rolled up his sleeves a little bit. Looks like Tyler Zunkel out there. Charlie, you and I both know you roll up the sleeves and you do one pitch or one swing of the at-bat, and they go right back down.
Yeah, he doesn't exactly, have the biggest muscles in the world to keep the shirt where he wants it, but it always starts off rolled
Telling
up.
him you said
no
that.
offense, Tyler.
First pitch to White is a ball. That one touches the edge of the plate for strike one.
2 straight fastballs on that one. I think he's just, trying to use his control with his fastball and just establishing the corners. Swing and a miss right there by White.
Cumsy this season has faced 218 batters. Wow. Out of that, he's got 11 walks and 13 strikeouts, and he gets another one there in the column as Isaiah White walks back to the dugout. And both pitchers here starting off very well. Haggerty not doing a great job of closing, so we'll see what Cumsy does as Denton steps into the opposite side. Denton this season, 278 average, 364 on base percentage, a 697 OPS, and a 333 slugging percentage. Only 9 games played. He's not one of the veteran guys on this team. It's hard to say the term veteran only in a, one season aspect of baseball. He's a lightly seasoned guy. I'll say that.
Yeah, salt and pepper only, no garlic powder, none of that good stuff.
That's how my mom makes food. No garlic powder, just salt and pepper.
What's your guys' favorite seasoning?
Paprika.
Okay.
It's the best. It's the most versatile.
Like just one item or a mix?
I'm going to go with one item.
Okay, because I was lemon pepper was the first one that came to mind.
Okay.
But
yeah, you know what? Seasoning and spice, technically is 2 different things. If that's the case, Italian seasoning.
Ooh, great choice.
Yeah.
3-0 now, and it'll be a 4-pitch walk to Denton. So after the strikeout, does the opposite side and puts a runner on here for the Oilmen. They'll bring up Levine. Catching today. Got a good arsenal of guys who can get behind the dish. Charlie Levine is just the one who his name got called up today. Would definitely like to be doing better at the plate offensively. 209 on the season. 286 on base percentage. Half of his hits have been doubles, so when he can put the ball deep into the outfield, and he's got good legs under him. As first pitch there is a strike. Wind's blowing pretty hard here at Oil City. We got a bunch of American flags in the outfield for the holiday. This one gets poked through the middle, just goes off of the glove of Mangano, and that will move the runners around a base. So Denton goes into second, and Levine gets to first with a 1-out single. First hit of the day for the Oilmen.
It's exactly what you're looking to see from the Oilmen, just being able to capitalize on positions with runners on base. Now you put one in scoring position to move yourself into the heart of the order.
And Griffin, I am one who is no stranger to Nick Mangano defensively. Granted, I've seen him play backup for PNW all this previous collegiate season, but he is a good defenseman, so that one you just got to think was just out of his reach.
Yeah, no, he made a good hustle on that. Diving, just unable to get it right there. So we called a single. Yeah, Mangano so far this year has just been the guy at shortstop, making all the great plays for the Vikings so far this year.
Brings up Emmanuel Scott DHing today. We might see him in a different position come the later innings tonight. But 2 runners on now, 1 out. Emmanuel Scott with 12 RBIs so far this season.
And he's been about right as rain for the Oilmen this year. One of only 2 players to appear, and he will now break the 17 number. This is an 18th appearance for the Oilmen.
It's always good to have some consistency in the lineup, and Emmanuel Scott does offer that consistency, and I'm sure Tyler's uncle can appreciate it when he's filling out the lineup card every day. He takes a big cut out of that one with no slice. Coach Hunt's going to retrieve the loose ball. Currently 10-mile-per-hour winds here at Whiting coming out of the west. That is from right field towards the third base line. 19-mile-per-hour gusts just off the plate there. Feels like 76. Current sunset is at 8:27 p.m. Lights are already on here at Oil City, so I'm not going to have a problem with that. Almost the other day, Charlie, we almost had to worry about the lights at Highland.
Which you wouldn't have expected with an early start.
Game just went a little long. It was a high-scoring game, and that leads to long innings sometimes. This one an outside pitch to Scott. Count now goes to full here with 1 out and 2 on. Middle infield's back on the grass. Corner's back as well. Outfield playing somewhat shallow, trying to cut down some runs here. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Scott, and pops that one foul. He'll get another attempt at it. You got to think that the people who live to the right side of the stadium, their backyards are directly facing the field, and you got to think they just have collections of baseballs in their garage or their gutters.
Do you think they hold them up to cash them in for that $1 value to be able
to
get a hat?
They might. I mean, some people might. They might bankrupt the ballpark. We might have to sell the franchise if some of those people turn in those foul balls. Take 2 for full count. And Scott lets that one go and walks down to first, which loads the bases here for Ryan Henschel.
I think very wise of the Vikings to go out there and have a meeting on the mound right now. You're facing a Division I hitter who's been pretty solid to this point in the year. Henschel's batting .244, but he seems to have a way of finding it in clutch situations, Griffin.
Yeah, and Cumsey's no stranger to situations. I honestly think, in situations like these, he may pitch just a tad bit better than he does in situations where the bags aren't loaded. He's more of a contact pitcher, but he has shown a lot of strikeout potential so far. And, as it is 1 out, turning 2 is the move, but of course, force. If you can't get 2, force is always at home.
Umpire breaks up the mound visit. Tyler Zunkel, you can see there, had a couple of words for Henschel as well. And as I said previously, the Oilmen, they do a good job striking first against the Vikings. And they have a chance to do it here. But they also, Oilmen, are famous for getting out of situations that would be good for run scoring.
Not in a positive way either.
Yeah, no, not at all. Well, that was not the intention I was alluding to there. So bases loaded, fresh count here for Henschel. Cumsey puts that one in at the wrists, 1-0. That one outside of the opposing batter's box, 2-0 now. And Griffin, I can imagine the worst thing you want in this moment is to walk in a run. Cumsey hasn't had a great control of the plate so far. 2 walks already.
Yeah, definitely not where he wants to be. As I did say, he does pitch a little bit better.
Check swing goes right down the first base line, and it is going to remain fair. Unintentional hit, or ball put into play, I should say, but it does move the runner to score. So Denton crosses home, and what everyone thought was going to be a dead play there, Henschel goes back to the dugout with an RBI to his name.
Yeah, you can't really be mad at that. You know, a run is a run. You got yourself an RBI there.
That's what me and Charlie say all the time. A run is a run. And the Oilmen will take it there, a 1-0 game now. I mentioned that they score early, but it's never in that fashion. And so that brings up Gould now for the Oilmen. Andrew Gould playing shortstop today. Only 4 games played. This would be his 5th, so not too many plate appearances for the yellow and black. He's only had 12 at-bats. Of that, 167 average, 368 on-base percentage, a 535 OPS. So force out is gone. Runners on second and third here for Gould. Big slice out of that one, no good. Is 0-2 now, and Cumsey trying to get out of the situation here, Griffin.
Yeah, 0-2 right here. Look maybe for a fastball inside. Seems to be Cumsey's go-to pitch.
Popped up high and sent to the right side of the infield. It will stay fair, and it will drop into the glove of Preston Lund. So the Oilmen get a run across here early in the bottom of the first. We will head to the top of the second when we return after these messages.
Wait! Let me help! Land of Frost! Premium meat! Delicious! And no byproducts!
Toss it in.
Et moi?
Okay.
Whee!
Make a smart choice. Land of Frost Premium Meat.
We don't go to the office. We build it. This is a truism with Ironworkers Local 395 and the Northwest Indiana Contractors Association. Our goal is to exceed our customers' expectations. We provide a skilled, OSHA-trained, drug-free workforce, as well as many other certifications from our 4-year training program. Every time you hire an ironworker from Local 395, you should feel confident that you are receiving highly trained, highly skilled, and drug-free journeymen and apprentices who take their job and your project seriously. For more information, contact us at 219-763-7900 or ironworkers395.com.
Back here in the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Sports Network, a 1-0 game here as the Oilmen take an odd and interesting lead, but a lead nonetheless. If you look in the scorebook, it was a scorcher down the first base line that was picked off, but a run did score. That's how I'm imagining it. Griffin Winicky, John Mastic, and Charlie Schmidgold here in the box. And now, Charlie, Haggerty struggled just a little bit there in the first, got 2 quick strikeouts, and then walked and a base hit against him. Eventually struck out Bendis to end the inning. But now on the mound, he's back there with a lead, and he's gotten that confidence of his teammates getting him some offensive support. Is the confidence thing for Haggerty a big deal, or is he a guy who can kind of just lax through every outing?
I mean, to say anybody's immune to confidence is, it'd be asinine. But what we can tell you is, as he's out there right now, he's got to be feeling better. He got himself into a little bit of a jam with 2 outs, getting 2 on, found his way out of it. Now he has a run to work with, and he's not going to be seeing the top of this order, which is definitely a little bit more threatening to you than the bottom. Just got to get through here relatively quickly.
Yeah, and up next for the Vikings, it'll be Trey Allred. Last time, or I shouldn't say last time, but last week when you guys were over at Dowling Park, Trey Allred hit a home run. She clocked at about 345. If it were in today's ballpark, it would hit off that brick monster, though. So it looks in for strike 1.
That's why we build it. Build it, and they won't come,
The home runs, anyway.
Yeah, exactly. 300 down the left field line, 403 to dead center, 320 to right field. 300 shorter left field because to account for that large brick monster, like you said. Allred at the plate now, takes a first pitch strike from Haggerty. Good movement on that one, just outside. 1-1. Yeah, and that home run by Allred was almost immediately followed up by a home run from Noah Caceres, who is on the lineup sheet today. Not currently in the lineup. He's a substitute. We might see him come the 5th or 6th inning. And 2-1 now from Haggerty. Big swing and a miss there from Allred. And the full count pitch is unsuccessful as Haggerty walks another batter there. A leadoff walk for Allred. And that brings up Brenna now for the Vikings.
Yeah, his first AB coming back from injury, hitting .238 on the year so far. All of his 5 hits have been singles. He's got 2 RBIs. Looking to he started out the year pretty hot. Kind of slowed down just a little bit. So he puts that one into play.
This one's going to get put to right center field, and Henschel will run over and make the grab. Once again, folks, 90% of the world is covered by water. The other 10%, Ryan Henschel, one of the best center fielders we have on the Oilmen, and he makes that grab there. Not in Sports Center fashion as we saw him a few weeks ago, but still a good catch for the first out of the inning. Brings up Norwine for the Vikings. Playing right field today, and he puts this one high into shallow center field. Henschel sliding in, makes the grab. Toss over to first, not in time, and a little bit offline. But once again, Ryan Henschel putting on a athletic showcase in center field. And a good pop-up for the throw back to first. Would have been a good highlight play if he could make the out, but he does not. So Allred stays at first. Norwine goes back to the dugout, and that brings up Anthony Mangano now.
Yeah, Mangano, a little trouble, unable to get the DH today for the Vikings. So Mangano will DH.
Runner goes, throw down to second is not in time and a little bit offline. Good pop-up there from Levine, but it moves Allred over to second to eliminate the force-out option here. Vikings trying to play a little bit of small ball here. They know they're down early.
That'll be Allred's 7th stolen bag on the year, marking 36 for the Vikings. I thought that was a lot until John Lieber from the Griffith Generals told me they had over 60, which I thought that was insane.
Oh, 2 now here to Mangano, the DH today. Here's the third pitch from Haggerty. Swing and a miss is no good there. So 3 strikeouts, make that 4 strikeouts on the day for Thomas Haggerty, and the Tommy gun continues to spray as we head into the bottom of the second.
Common for back patients to have a lot of questions, but at Midwest Orthopedic Specialty Hospital, we ask a lot of questions too. We want to know about their jobs, their hobbies, their lifestyle. Because spinal conditions are oftentimes complex and multifaceted, the best solutions take into account work and lifestyle. The spine is at the basis of everything that we do and who we are. For us, surgery is not the first priority. Finding the least invasive option to give you your life back is.
Who is the IBEW? We're the people who bring the power to your home, the ones who make sure your phone calls and internet keep speeding along. We build things like schools and hospitals. We bring the biggest shows and sporting events to the world, keep America's railroads on the right track, help cities, states, and the federal government work for you. And we proudly build products made in the USA. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, the IBEW.
Hello, Charlie Schmidgold, back here on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Sports Network.
Yeah, I might have accidentally put myself on there for a moment.
It's not an accident when you're. It's not an accident when you're as beautiful as you are, Charlie.
Oh, stop! You're gonna make me blush over
That
here.
is the goal at the end of the day.
Wow.
Griffin, where are you getting this treatment? Come on.
I'm the third wheel on all this.
Yeah.
If drive to Elkhart County as much as me and Charlie have done the past 6 days, we are bonded as brothers
Brothers on the road.
Brothers in arms.
Two brothers.
Two brothers. They're going to run away from an asteroid. Cumsey back on the mound here for the Vikings. Taking a couple extra seconds here to get this inning going. But it will be Sohrab Razai, Zamarian Hatcher, and Ian Farrell as the 1-2-3. Bottom three of the lineup here for the Oilmen before it turns back over to Isaiah White. White struck out his last time up. Would like another attempt here in the second inning. 1-0 ball game after the Oilmen load the bases, and a check swing goes down the line off of the bat of Ryan Henschel, who made up for it by making two outstanding. Okay, let me back it up. One outstanding and one routine fly ball play in center field. So Sohrab Razai, who is making his Oil City debut today. We've seen him a couple of times, but only in the away uniforms. And so here wearing the home goals, and it looks very good on him. And he would like to make a good impression here on the home crowd. First pitch from Cumsey is outside and into the dirt. And Griffin, in the ways of pitching, how much relief do you guys have today?
We have two guys at our disposal, Anthony Mangano and David Anderson. I suspect Anthony Mangano maybe to come first, but in the event that maybe they want to keep him at DH, I suspect David Anderson. Anderson has a pitch count from Augustana. I'd imagine he maybe goes, really depending on how it comes, he goes. Imagine 2-3 innings from both Mangano and Anderson. But, we got a long game ahead of us. Guess we just kind of have to see.
So Rab puts that one into foul territory. Another foul ball for a homeowner to collect. 2-1 now. The sun got out of here in a hurry here at Oil City. I'm pretty sure it's still supposed to be on the field, but I'm guessing there's a massive cloud formation to our back right. So Razai takes a big swing out of that one, makes it 2-2. The one thing here is for the Oilmen, and Charlie, you can speak on this, is you can tell that Cumsey is kind of doesn't have a full control of the zone. They've seen him well the first inning, so you don't want to bail him out on anything. And so swinging at pitches that aren't yours won't help you, as Razai puts this one into high left field and gone! Over the brick monster and through the woods we go, as Sohrab Razai will round third and heading home. And I just mentioned you don't want to see pitches that aren't yours, and he sees his there.
Yeah, that is a monster blast. It's the first time we've seen him display that kind of power. We know that he has it, and he puts it on display there. Great ability to be able to take that one to the pull side and just deep enough to clear the scoreboard.
Yeah, absolute missile that was right there.
That ball got out of here in a hurry, but at the same time took a minute to let us bask in its glory, and a 2-0 ball game here as the Oilmen score once again in an inning. That will bring up Zamarian Hatcher. And I've mentioned it previously in Razai's first two outings with the Oilmen, as you can tell there, Allred in center field disagrees with the strike zone all the way back there from 300 feet. That's probably not the best position to be calling balls and strikes, sir, but I'll let you do it from out there. But Razai's batting stance and swing, we've mentioned it, Charlie, very low, squats down and puts the bat up very high and very vertical. And the way his swing goes, it's very conductive to power hitting, and you finally see it done in the tradition he's trying to do there. So 1-1 now to Hatcher. Lays off that one just under the hands at 2-1 now. Infield all the way back on the edge of the grass. Hatcher can put a ball in play, and he does there. Over to second. Angle tosses it up and over to Lund for the out. First out of the bottom of the second there. So a good start after the Rezai home run.
Third baseman, number 6, Ian Farrell.
That brings up Ian Farrell now, the 9-hitter. Which, in baseball, I say this all the time, if you want to be a good baseball team, it doesn't matter what spot in the lineup you have. You got to go out and get a hit. You know, once you get out of Little League and, you put your worst hitters at the bottom and your best hitters at the top, you have to have good hitters at the bottom or you'll never win ball games, and that's kind of the opinion here with Ian Farrell, who's a great hitter, rounding out that 9 spot. A 267 average, 353 on base percentage, and a 753 OPS, and slugging 400 so far this season. Has a 1-1 count on him now. And that's one of the things that lineups and roster rotation and pitching rotation, it's become somewhat of an art form here in the modern era of baseball. Charlie, I know you're a huge fan of analytics and the number side of things. And it really does have a good use in the name of baseball as Farrell pops this one up and the second out of the inning is made.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm terrible at math. I was never very good at accounting. And the only way I would understand accounting concepts is if they were applied in the form of baseball. So it's the only thing that makes sense to me anymore.
You ever seen that episode of The Office where, like, Kevin Malone can't do math, but if he does it with food? You're like that as well.
I'm like that.
Charlie cannot tell you what 2 plus 2 is. However, if you've said, what's 2 baseballs plus 2 baseballs, Charlie might get the right answer for you.
That's ball 4, take your base.
That's ball 4, take your base. And Isaiah White will take the batter's box once again. Second time up. His last time he struck out looking for the first out of the day here at Oil City. First pitch to him once again is a strike. So second time up through the order here, and the Oilmen have already seen Cumsey pretty well. They might see him a little bit better, so things do not get easier here for the Vikings come this second inning.
Yeah, after giving up that run, it was a tough first inning for Cumsey with 2 walks and that little ground out that led to the run. Just Homer kind of does it from, but after that, he kind of seems to be a little dialed in. He's got 2 straight outs after that. Just kind of looking to get out of this.
Cumsey finds the zone again for 0-2 now against White. White's the only Oilman batter who has struck out today. And pops this one into the alleyway again. And the wind's still blowing in pretty strong from right. Rezai's a home run to left. I mean, it got pushed. The distance was still there. That one maybe just gone over to just regular outfield wall. Pushed over the brick monster. This one right up the middle off the mound. Mangano's able to come over. Quick high toss over to first. Stays in play. Isaiah White stays second. First. And that will be a single there for White. But a great defensive play from Mangano. Do not let that ball go in the outfield. Isaiah White, a lot of speed under his legs. And so he could have pushed that one a little bit further. So good job by White to return after the strikeout. And that brings up Denton, who scored on a walk his last time up.
Yeah, just good hustle by Mangano right there. Unfortunately, just on that turnaround, kind of seemed to just lost his accuracy. As that ball went sailing over President Lund's mitt.
Well, the one thing you've always got to remember, and this is a tip for all you young baseball players out there, that if you're going to have to do that spinning throw, you're going to have to also account for the velocity you're building up on your spin, your normal throwing techniques. It's going to be amplified. And so it probably was a pretty good throw by Mangano, but the spinning motion just revved up the velocity a little bit more than he would have liked, as Denton takes a first pitch strike there.
Yeah, but if you get really good at throwing off that back foot, then you get to be the most overrated shortstop in MLB history. Right, Red Sox fan?
Yeah. I like Derek Jeter to an extent, but I think he is slightly overrated.
It's not slightly overrated. He is overrated. He was playing. He wasn't even the best shortstop on his team.
Well, A-Rod got moved to third, so.
Pickoff attempt, no good. As Denton has only still faced one pitch of this at-bat.
First is currently seeing more action than him at the plate.
That's very true. This one gets popped high into deep center field. Going back is Allred, who doesn't get the ball as it drops on the warning track. Isaiah White turns on the afterburners as he rounds third and will go into home, pumping the brakes for another run here in the second. So an RBI double from Denton brings home Isaiah White, and it's now a 3-0 ball game.
Excellent use of timely hitting there. 2 outs. You needed something to kind of give you a little bit more momentum because, the solo shot's good, but it's not what you want to end an inning on. Excellent ability to go out there and score the fast runner from first. Nice work by Denton.
And, Griffin, that might be a situation where home field advantage is definitely the name of the game. Center field is significantly deeper than what you guys are used to playing at Dowling Park. Dowling Park probably only about 350, 330 to dead center. Well, you got to add an extra 50 feet to that here at Oil City Stadium. I don't think Allred knew he had that much room and was playing relatively shallow.
Yeah, I agree. A little too shallow. He is a little backed up now after that. And you're completely right. I mean, you're used to the PNW fields more than I am.
Levine pops this one up on the infield, and the catch can't be made by Lund. Tried to basket catch it and couldn't get under it in time. And Denton flew around to home, so another run will score off of the error from Preston Lund.
Yeah, I was a little confused by that. I thought maybe Cumsey was calling it at first, but one called him off right after.
I'll tell you what, I always say this every time. Anytime there's a ball put in play in the triangle between home, the pitcher's mound, and first, that is a first baseman's ball 99% of the time, just due to the sheer size of a first baseman's mitt being larger than a pitcher's glove or a catcher's glove. However, it doesn't work statistically if you try to basket catch it. As this one, I think it got fouled off.
No, I think that one went out over his head. It was a mile up there.
I don't know because Emmanuel Scott's standing in the right-handed batter's box, and that ball ended up behind where a left-handed batter, so it did not change. It changed trajectory, definitely. Griffin, I know you saw that.
I thought that was a foul ball too, but it looks like he's going to call that a ball.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah.
So 1-0 now to Scott, and also say because it's a ball, Levine moves over to second.
We'll call that a wild pitch.
1-1 now to Scott. I for sure thought there was contact made, whether it was off Scott's back or his bat, but we'll continue play here. Big swing and a miss there from Scott, the designated hitter today. Walked his last time up, made his way around to second.
And when the first pitch looked like it was going to hit you, then if it's in the area code, all of a sudden it doesn't look so bad, and that's why he maybe took a pass at that one.
Levine on second. He deals now to Scott. Takes another healthy dose out of that baseball. And this one gets put over to the right foul territory. And Lund is able to make the grab. So Sohrab Rezai, with his Oil City debut, gives us a brick monster home run. And that puts the Oilmen up 4-0 as we head into the commercial break on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Sports Network.
Like to work with your hands, creating something from nothing? Then think about Laborers Local 41. You'll get 432 hours of apprenticeship training, all while earning a wage with benefits and incurring no student debt. You'll travel to different job sites, learn tons of skills, and in a lot of cases, be the first one on and the last one off a job site. It all starts at laborers41.com.
You guys are crushing it. See how 8 grams of healthy protein in Land of Frost premium meat gives you energy and keeps you full. Let's get those buns toasted, bread. Cheese, 10 more. Go.
I'm getting shredded. Make the smart choice. Land of Frost premium meat.
Hello again, Charlie Schmidgall, as always.
Why does it keep cutting on to me, man?
I'm going to go back, and I'm screenshotting that face. I'm framing it on the Charlie Schmidgall fan
zone.
What a look. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the top of the third inning, brought to you by Lando Frost Meats. You need 3 things to make a sandwich: 2 slices of bread and 1 chunk of Lando Frost Meats. Go buy it at your local grocery store today. Third inning also means it's time for third inning trivia, finally returning to the Brick House up here, which means Hunter Lorenzik and Hayden Myers can finally join the group. And Charlie doesn't have to play by himself. He has also Griffin Winicky here today. And Griffin, you requested basketball, so I shall give you basketball. You wanted to talk about NBA free agency a little bit today, and I will definitely allow you to do that.
Thank you.
So your third inning trivia question kind of has something to do with NBA free agency. Famously, Paul George fractured both his tibia and fibula during a USA basketball showcase while attempting to block a layup from what player?
Wow.
That is your third inning trivia question. As always, join us on our Facebook Live video as this one gets sent into left field for a hit from Mangano. Both Mangano and White of the Oilmen and Vikings, respectfully, struck out their first time up and came back with a base hit afterwards. So good job by Mangano there as that brings up Engel. So join us on our Northwest Indiana Oilmen Facebook page if you want to give an answer to become the new king or queen of the third. Question at the top, answer at the bottom.
I mean, we'd have to figure out who they're playing against first. I think that'd be.
I think it was just a scrimmage, though. No.
The inter squad.
Yeah, I thought it was an inter squad.
I will tell you. It was a USA versus USA team. That will be your first hint of the day.
Okay.
Well, that makes it.
I will give you one
easier.
more. I will give you one more hint before break, and I think that one will help you much more.
Is it going to be the year? Because I was about to take a guess on what year it was. Maybe 2014.
I think 2013 was the official year.
It's been quite a few years now.
1-1. This one
called
a strike there.
I have a guy
painting the corners.
I have a guy in mind, but it's more just of a guess.
What are you asking? Is the same year as what?
The Kevin Ware incident.
Oh, I do not know.
I don't think they were far apart from each other, though.
They definitely weren't far apart if they weren't in the same year. Thank you, Mom, for commenting on what a handsome boy I am.
I agree.
Lovely,
I agree,
Mom.
Miss Schmidgall. I really agree. You and Mr. Schmidgall produced a beautiful child.
Oh,
that's why I've actually hacked the computer and have forced the camera to appear on Charlie when we come back from commercials. You can't hide yourself from the people, Chuck.
I will point out, you were the one touching the computer before I came back with my face on it, so that may very well be true.
Hey.
John Massey up to no good.
Am I ever? 2-2 swung and missed there from Engel for another strikeout there for Haggerty.
Third baseman number 17, Michael Lustina.
It brings up Mike Lustina now for the Vikings. Make it 5 strikeouts on the day for Haggerty. And, Charlie, I think this is, at this point in the game, this is going to be one of those games where not going to be a lot of hits because Haggerty's fanning.
Yeah, I mean, he's done an excellent job. Only a couple of walks to this point.
Yeah, Vikings just having an absolutely troubling time just figuring out Haggerty's, pitch arsenal. So we've seen a lot of, looking strikeouts and a lot of swing and misses, too. His off-speed's been on today.
One and one now. Haggerty tosses over to first. Both pitchers are throwing more to first than home today. A lot of pickoff attempts at first. Neither of them have been successful, yet they keep doing it. I believe that's called gambling, folks.
No. I'm sorry. That sound was more about the pitch that Haggerty had just delivered. That was nasty. Lots of lateral movement on that pitch.
One ball, 2 strikes now to Lustina. This one gets a piece over to short, picked up by Gould. Long toss over to first, not in time. Pick attempt can't be made. Gano stays over there at second for an infield hit from Lustina. And right there from Gould, having a arc back. You already got your momentum moving towards the left. You got to put yourself in a stop position and really throw your entire weight into that one. It was a good throw, maybe just not in time. A lot of speed from Lustina there out of the box, Griffin.
Yeah, this is exactly what the Vikings need after a tough second inning right there, giving up 3 runs. There's no better time to strike than now when you only have 1 out and a runner in scoring position. Although the Vikings have been very bad this year in terms of average with runners in scoring position. I believe that's a little under 200.
Nick Mangano over there at second, coming in today with 7 stolen bases on the season. He's a danger on the base path. And now with a runner in scoring position here, up by 4, the Oilmen need to suppress him as quickly as possible. Here's the pitch from Haggerty outside. 2-0 now to Lund.
And, I was trying to think about it. Did Gordon Hayward have a similar injury to Paul George?
Not similar in context. That's probably the worst injury I've ever seen on camera. I remember that Celtics versus Cavs opening day.
Yep.
Snaps his leg right in half. I can tell you where I was for that Paul George injury as well. 2-1 now to Lund. Both terrible. That Paul George luckily was able to recover, but that 100% ruined Gordon Hayward's career. This one gets shot over to second, can't get picked up by Rezai. Mangano using the speed to come around, and also a little bit of a bobbled ball over there in right field allows Lustina to move to third. And so Lund with an RBI single, and the Vikings strike back here in the third.
Really nice, timely hitting there. And Griffin, you've got to be happy with what you're seeing from your group. They're putting the ball in play, and they're putting it in really difficult spots for the infield to get to.
Yeah, and what's been really tough here every game at Oil City Stadium, we haven't really...
Runner goes, throw down is not in time, but it's a little bit of a fake attempt to try to get the runner at third. Lustina is safe. Lund is also, and it's Bendis at the plate now, 1-0 on him. But continue on, Griffin.
Yeah, and going back to that, it's nice to strike now, especially when you have to try later in the game. It's been extremely tough for the Vikings to score runs here.
This one over to first. It's picked up by Denton and quickly walked over to first, but a run will score, so Lustina will come home. Lund will go to second, and the sacrifice ground out by Bendis makes it a 4-2 ball game. Griffin, there's something you guys, or that's the three of us, have talked about. We've only played one game at Dowling Park, so a majority of the conversation has been here, but plate discipline has been your guys' biggest issue throughout the season, and I feel like today and at this point in the season, you guys have done a really good job fixing that, at least, or has something you guys have been working on.
Yeah, and it just...
And I think Norwine thought the inning was over because he was just walking out to go play and had to get brought back by Coach Hunt. Sorry, Griffin.
No, it is all good. And going back to what you said, yeah, struggling a little bit today against Haggerty, but I got to give Haggerty credit where credit is deserved. His off-speed stuff is insane today. His fastball's been great. Oof, that's a tough swing and a miss right there.
And it's all red at the plate now with that swing and miss. Makes it 1-2. Haggerty trying to get out of this inning before too much damage is done. Runner on the corners. Runner at third now for the Vikings. Trying to make it a closer ball game than it was just a few moments ago. A throw down attempt to third is in time. Jake Levine with the hot step over to third and the even hotter throw to get the out. And that will be the end of the top of the third. And the strike back attempt from the Vikings is cut short at 4-2. Your third inning trivia question. Once again, Paul George injured himself in a USA Basketball Showcase while attempting to block a layup from what player?
There's a shortage of roofers across the country. Here at Roofers Local 26, our signatory contractors are in need of a well-trained workforce, and it's our job to provide that workforce. We are looking for people that are self-motivated, people that are reliable, people that are willing to give a hard day's work. In return, they get a good paycheck with good benefits. This is not a job, this is a career. If you're willing to put the time and dedication in, we're willing to provide you the tools and training necessary for you to succeed in the roofing industry. We've been doing this for almost 100 years. We know how to get the job done.
Back here for the bottom of the third, brought to you by Lando Frost Meats. Your third inning trivia question. Paul George fractured his tibia and fibula. By the way, 2 bones I myself have broken. Doesn't feel good. During a USA basketball showcase while attempting to block a layup from what player? Your first hint I gave you guys earlier, I didn't give you a hint before break, so I'll give it to the audience as well. First hint was it was a USA versus USA showcase, and the second hint, this player is currently still playing. And before we get ready for first pitch at the bottom of the third, I'll let you guys discuss a little bit more. You guys have had some pretty good hints and some pretty good deductive reasoning so far.
Yeah, and KD, as I said towards the break, was I think my guy in mind, Hayden Myers, Kyrie Irving. That was a good one. I'm not too sure. Charlie, got any thoughts on it?
So what I was thinking of is it was after that it happened, but I watched Team USA play in Chicago, so I was trying to think about in one of those inter-squad kind of scrimmages. So I was trying to think about who all I've seen play there. I did think of Gordon Hayward because I know he had played with Team USA. I don't know if he was at that point. And I was like, it'd be kind of ironic, or not ironic, that's not the right word, but to have the two guys who've had those horrific leg injuries have that interaction. But you'd also have to think it'd have to be like a slasher, someone who'd be going in for a layup and not just dunking. So it's probably going to be a 3 or smaller in the lineup. I don't think
Kyrie's
doing
a great job so far. Doing a great job so far.
I think maybe Katie's a little bit too big. I feel like,
Well, and it also can't be just a straight-up shooter either.
Yeah.
It's highly unlikely that it'd be like a Steph Curry or a Klay Thompson or somebody like that who pretty much only shoots outside the arc.
I like the Kyrie guess maybe
I
the
think
most.
it's a great guess. And we know that they're still playing, so that would take off any of the other guys that could have still been hanging around at that point.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. It was 2013.
Give you about 30 more seconds, gentlemen.
So that means it can't be John Wall.
No.
Teach me how to
John
teach me.
Wall.
Hayden, do you have your official guess? Yes. Okay, you want to give yours? Hayden Myers says Kyrie Irving.
I think I might follow Hayden Myers here and say Kyrie Irving also.
Oh, gotta go for a different person.
Griffin with Kyrie.
Can I change my answer if I have to go with a different person?
Sure.
Damian Lillard.
Damian Lillard.
Oh,
okay.
that's an excellent choice.
Chuck, I'll give you one more hint. The players you have named in conversation, none of them are it.
Okay. Well, Kemba Walker's retired, so I know it's not him, and he'd be a good choice for being a smaller guard. Oh, man.
10 seconds.
Okay, just one more second here, man.
Give
me Chris Paul. Give me Chris Paul.
Okay.
It's not bad.
So, Kyrie Irving, Chris Paul, and who'd you say?
Not Damian Lillard.
Damian Lillard. Okay, well, the Brick House goes 0 for 3 today. Hunter Lorenzik not even here. This one gets plastered out to left field again, but it's caught by Bendis. The answer is James Harden, which means Mike Groves with King of the Third once again. The absolute undisputed king of, might be the GOAT of the third. We haven't reached All-Star break yet, but Mike Groves once again. Not only has he held for the longest, but I'm pretty sure he's gotten the most correct answers.
It is a dynasty.
No, but it was James Harden. Definitely had a pregame meal. And by the way, Mike Groves said big James Harden. You're correct. I don't think there's such a thing as small James Harden, though, to be completely honest, Mike Groves.
Houston nightclub James Harden.
Yeah.
This is pre-beard,
No,
back
it was
when he was at Arizona State,
it was definite beard James Harden. I think that was probably the biggest James Harden's beard's ever been, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
But brings up Gould, 1-1 now. And funny enough, I don't know why I like this fact, but who was on Paul George's team at the time was both Derrick Rose and DeMar DeRozan for that game, and they were on the court with him. Hunter, out of curiosity, do you have a guess for that one? You didn't hear the answer. Yeah. Okay. Hunter Lorenzik, 0 for 4 for the Brick House today. It was James Harden.
I gotta stop bringing up basketball questions.
You asked for him, man.
I know.
I feel like that was a good question.
Yeah, it was a good question.
Good question.
You had me stumped. I like keeping up on my basketball knowledge.
Got to keep it up. This one gets put into play and then foul by Gould. 2-2 now.
Paul George just signed that massive contract with the Sixers too.
Yeah, 4 years, $412 million. I got to be complete. And then they gave Tyrese
$412 million?
$412 for 4 years.
Oh.
And they gave Tyrese Maxey $406 for 5. And I don't know what Joel Embiid's contract is. I have absolutely no idea how the new CBA works for basketball. The new salary cap and the
I just partially think sometimes the luxury tax just doesn't exist.
There's like 6 super teams in the league right now. Boston's starting 5 costs less than just under $1 billion.
They gave Tatum that huge contract also, which having Brown and Tatum locked up though.
Full count now. Yeah, I don't. Full count to Gould. Swung and a miss there. Another strikeout. Only comes the second of the game. And now with that very comfortable 2-run lead, the Oilmen aren't playing offense as intensely as they have the previous 2 innings. But that brings up the brick monster, Sohrab Razai, the only guy to put one over it this year. He'll maintain that nickname until someone else does it.
I don't talk about super teams. 76ers got the best backup center in the league, Andre Drummond.
He should play the 4.
I don't know if he's fast enough for the 4.
He's awfully slow. A little heavy on his feet.
He did it. Listen, the Bulls did it with Vooch and Drummond, and it was a really great combination.
I thought Vooch was playing the 4 around that time, though.
Doesn't matter. Vooch shouldn't be playing, period, and
they
did anyway. No, I'm really happy for Andre Drummond. I'm even more disappointed with the Bulls because now why didn't you just trade him when you had him and got something for him? Now you don't have anything for him. You traded Alex Caruso for Josh Giddey. So 1-1 now.
It's a youth movement in Chicago.
And I understand they're rebuilding. DeMar DeRozan's going to leave.
They were talking about him going to the Kings.
Well, he got turned down by the Lakers, I
thought they'd take anybody over the age of 35.
I think maybe they don't have enough money. But then again, the luxury tax does not exist.
Yeah, again, if Brian Windhorst or Adrian Wojnarowski can't explain the new CBA rules, then no one is. 2-1 pitch. That one fouled back towards us. Charlie was all over it from Sohrab Razai. I think Sun's actually just fully set now. We saw it once again before it's finally gone, but I think it's about that time where it's dark now. 8-11 here in Whiting. The refinery in center field being that it's got that nice evening gold. It's a nice sky tonight. Fouled off again, same location by Razai. Tony says hi. She's currently in the booth with us, but as always, Tony, thank you. Hey, how's it going? She waved to me this time. That's good. That's even better. 2-2. Infield's back. They've been that way pretty much every at-bat this game. That one right down Main Street. I don't know what Razai was waiting for. Got fooled on that one. So 3 up, 3 down for the first time today from Cumsey. 2 back-to-back strikeouts, and we will enter the top of the 4th when we return here on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Sports Network.
Safety doesn't come in a box. It's not a banner that goes on a wall. It's not something you do now and then, or when it's convenient. It's using state-of-the-art simulators to better prepare for any situation. It's giving offshore teams onshore support, and it's empowering anyone to stop a job if something doesn't seem right. At BP, safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better.
Miller Lite tastes great. Let's fill it. Tastes great. Let's fill it. Tastes great. It is both. It is both. It is both. It is both. It's both.
Hey, thanks for the backup.
Motions. Back here on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Sports Network, Griffin Winicky joining us from the Hammond Vikings side of things. Charlie Schmidgall producing today. Charlie, you're doing a great job, and thank you for producing for us. You got some stuff you want to read off here.
Well, I guess if you'll let me.
Yeah, go on.
Is that all right? We cool? All right, here's what we got for you. Upcoming things for the squad. Got Family Saturdays coming up any given Saturday. Upcoming nearest one, July 6th, July 13th, July 20th, and August 3rd, rounding out the season for us here. Oilman Stan bobblehead giveaway was back in June. That still hasn't quite come around quite yet. I know on the 12th coming up, we've got Swifty Day, which I, for one, am very excited about.
Are you?
I am.
Okay.
I'm not ashamed to admit it. Maybe.
It's good. Is Addie a Taylor Swift gal?
Not really. I got to tell you, it's not that she doesn't like Taylor Swift, but it's not.
It's not her first choice.
Right.
That's fair. All Red fouls this one off back into the alleyway. And for more information about our upcoming promotions, go over to NWIOilmen.com. Also, some great articles there written by a very beautiful man. I can't say who it is. It's Charlie. And
you might have accidentally seen his face at one point.
A strikeout there from All Red and Haggerty.
The catcher, number 8, David Brenna.
Makes that 6th on the day. That brings up David Brenna now for the Vikings. And despite the 2 runs you guys have on the board, Griffin, it seems that you guys just haven't figured out Haggerty just yet, and you're kind of hoping to just get into the bullpen as quickly as you can.
Yeah, Haggerty's had our number so far this game with 6 strikeouts through this 3rd and 1/3. That 1-0 is now 2-0. But yeah, the Vikings, these off-speed pitchers are throwing him off. We saw Allred right there foul off 2, and big swing and a miss on that off-speeder for that 3rd strike. It's just something the Vikings are going to have to adapt to as long as Haggerty stays out here.
2 balls and no strikes now here to Brenna. 3 balls, no strikes now to Brenna. This one fouled up and over the net. Brenna this season a .238 average, on base percentage of .333. He's only had 6 games played and 21 at-bats, so still very young to your guys. I think they're debating here what the count is, and they're looking at the scoreboard. They're going to have a conversation here with Hayden Myers.
It's 2-1, I'm fairly certain.
So it is 2-1. I'm sorry for being incorrect on that one, folks.
I'll take the blame on that.
Nope, I took it. I'm the one who said it.
John Massey's fault.
Now 3-1. And as always, a big thank you and a lot of credit to Hayden Myers, who does PA here at Oil City as well as the scoreboard. So if you ever step into Oil City Stadium and go, who is that beautiful voice? It is Hayden Myers, one of the best in the business here in the area. And that's not me saying that as a friend. I do truly believe that. So Brenna takes a walk down to first and will stay there as Norwine steps into the batter's box. Haggerty deals very quickly for a strike 1 there. That's what I like from Haggerty is you're not going to – no official pitch clock here in the Northern League. I know the umpires have one of the timers on the belts, but I think it's about 30 seconds. You get a long time for engagement. But Haggerty deals. He's not a slow, drawn-out pitcher. Has that hunched-over stance you see there, a little bit like Craig Kimbrell, except he's good at pitching. 0-2, that one put high, 1-2 now.
Kimbrell had some great years.
Yeah, had, past tense.
In Boston.
I was going to say we're awfully close to Chicago for Kimbrell. Positive conversation. He was all right on the north side.
He had a couple good stints as a White Sox relief pitcher. Problem is he wanted to be a closer, but it just so happened that the best closer in baseball at the time was playing in front of him. And you weren't going over Liam Hendricks. Norwine strikes out, swinging there, makes that number 2 of the inning. That brings up Anthony Mangano, the DH. Is he still with the Phillies? Because I'm pretty sure, if you ask anybody, Craig Kimbrell, he's not with the Phillies anymore?
The Orioles.
The Orioles, okay. Yeah, Craig Kimbrell lost the Phillies the playoffs last year.
If you ask, Philly fans will literally, if there was gum on someone's shoe, they'll blame gum for an entire year. She is correct. She is more of a scissor girl.
All right, fair enough. I don't know SZA songs off the top of my head.
I like a little bit of SZA.
I can tell you I've definitely heard her. I just don't know songs off the top of my head.
I think my favorite is probably Broken Clocks. All I got.
2-1 now here from Haggerty. Another big hack out of there from Mangano.
Yeah, Anthony Mangano hasn't hit since his high school days. It's, just kind of a fill-in at DH.
2-2 and another big swing and a miss from Anthony Mangano. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Thomas Haggerty. Make that 8 on the day. And we will head into the bottom of the 4th inning when we return here from Oil City.
Don't let pain knock you out of the ring. Our hand, wrist, and elbow experts are pioneers worldwide. You need us in your corner. Midwest Orthopedics at Rush. Make an appointment today. After our minimally invasive spine surgery, 80% of golfers maintained or improved their handicap. Be treated by the pros to play more like a pro. Midwest Orthopedics at Rush. Make an appointment today.
That's right, Candace. We're getting multiple reports of this mysterious but powerful phenomena. People are experiencing a sound, after which they drop everything, and I mean everything, and run to their nearest White Castle. Now, we are urging folks to stay calm. There's no evidence that this...
Richard, we're live.
When the crave calls,
Richard, we're live.
Go to White Castle for the $5 bacon bundle with 2 bacon sliders and a small fry. White Castle. Follow your crave.
Back here in Whiting for Northwest Indiana Oilmen as they take on the traveling Hammond Vikings. A 4-2 ball game right now. It's been a hotly contested one here. It's been more competitive than the Oilmen would like, and the Vikings are very much still in this game. The Oilmen put up a run in the first, 3 in the second, did not score in the third, and are looking to break that pattern before they initiate one here in the fourth. The Vikings put up 2 runs in the third to make it a 4-2 ball game and a little bit more competitive than it would have been. John Mastay, Charlie Schmidgall, as well as Griffin Winnicky and Griffin. Guys are trying to turn the tables here, trying to make a comeback here in this game. We have not had a scoreless inning of baseball due to you guys scoring in the third. And so you're really hoping that you can break that cycle and have the Oilmen go scoreless here in the fourth.
Yeah, and Cumsey had I should say, not a bad inning. He had a good inning last inning. Didn't give up a run. He's trying to maintain this lead here, as he's hoping for the guys on the other side of the ball just to turn up just a little bit.
Last inning, he made Henschel fly out to left field. It was a deep shot. Would have been not even close at Dowling Park, but we're here at a shallow left field at Oil City, and he struck out Gould and Rezai. He's due to face Hatcher, Farrell, and the top of the order once again against White. And so you got Rezai out, who hit a home run against you previously, and then you strike him out immediately after that. Hatcher ground out his last time up. Farrell popped up his last time up, and White is 1 for 2 on the day. And so you're looking at a spot here, if you're Cumsey, who you've had a advantage of against. And so this would be a good section of the lineup to close the book on and head into the 5th inning. Charlie, I'll go to you for this one. The Oilmen, more times than not, they mercy rule the Vikings here, and I'm sure they want to do that again, go home early. They maybe got some things to do. Do they need this? Do they need to score this inning to achieve that, or is this an inning they can kind of put on the afterburner, or the back burner, I should say, and maybe just get through?
I mean, it's going to be – you've already seen this pitcher at least a couple times for most of these guys. They're going to be going up there having at least somewhat of an idea of what they're going to do. I'd say this is an inning that you don't need to score runs, but if you want to bury the Vikings and take this game by the reins, you need to go out and get some runs this inning.
First pitch to Zamarion Hatcher is under the arms, and Hatcher plays pretty close to the line in the batter's box, and Cumsey has been using that right side of the plate on your screen intensely today, whether it's outside pitches or inside pitches. Big swing is fouled off there by Hatcher.
Yeah, and that's the main thing is Cumsey wants to do. I've noticed it throughout a lot of his relief appearances, and even that starting into Generals. He loves establishing the outside corners. It's one of the main weapons for him. That's kind of how he starts up and gets these players into 2-strike counts.
1 ball, 1 strike now to Hatcher. Down in the dirt, ground out his last time up. Every Oilman player has at least put the ball into play at least once. Henschel, Gould, Hatcher, and Farrell are the only 4 Oilman batters today who have not reached base. Hatcher fouls that one off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Infield still back once again. A very large gap up the middle. Mangano playing in a regular shift towards second, but Parker Engel playing nearly behind first base. And so something through the middle here, especially on the right side, has a good chance of notching a base hit and maybe a double here for Hatcher, depending on how hard it's hit. Here's the 2-2. And that one hit him there. It almost looked like he got out of the way, but not in time. So Hatcher tries to dance his way out of the hit by pitch and will dance his way down to first base.
And yeah, when you're a pitcher and you have a 2-strike count on anybody, especially it wasn't a full count, it was 2-2, you hate to hit the batter because, you know, you had the advantage. You were 1 pitch away from getting out of it. Now they're over at first.
Ian Farrell walking up to Cody Johnson's Welcome to the Show, probably the most overused country song in baseball, if you ask me. Steps to the right side of the plate with a runner on first. And this one gets put over to Mangano, off the glove and into center field. Hatcher, turning on the jets, runs into third base, and Zunkel gives him the stop sign. Going to be an E6 on the play after a collision between the ball and Mangano at short. Farrell goes to first, Hatcher around to third. And now there's runners on the corners for Isaiah White. Singled his last time up, struck out prior to that.
Well, after a nice inning by Cumsey, he finds himself in trouble with runners at the corners. And the top of the order for the Oilmen.
With no outs as well, so a tough situation. He's going to have to dig deep here if he wants to get out of this inning with no runs. And Mangano, who, like I've said, I've seen a good amount of him in this past collegiate season. He's normally a very good infielder, and so you got to think maybe the infield here at Oil City played a little bit of a part against that. Mangano used to playing at Dowling Park, all AstroTurf field. Quite the opposite here at Oil City, all natural dirt and grass, the way it's supposed to be. 1 ball, no strike now to White. This will be the 3rd time through the order here in the bottom of the 4th. He deals that one down the middle, but not high enough for ball 2. And Charlie, like you said, if you want to bury the Vikings, this would be the inning to do it in. And with a runner on first and third with no outs in the top of the order here, you would think this is the best opportunity for them to do that. That one outside. Runner goes. It's a delayed steal. Throw is cut off by Mangano, and the throw into home is not in time. So the delayed double steal is executed flawlessly as Farrell goes to second and Hatcher into home. And Isaiah White still at the plate with now a runner on second.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate for the Vikings because you could tell they got a read on it. Mangano was playing in. He was ready to get that throw in, but it just wasn't perfect. Great speed at third to be able to get in there, and it wound up evading.
Now 3-0 now here to White. The last thing you'd want to do is walk on another base runner here for the Oilmen after the double steal. And I will say credit to where credit is due. As always, Mangano did a great job coming across the diamond to cut off that throw and dish it back into home. It was a closer play than the Oilmen would like to admit at home. But when the starting pistol goes off and your opponent's Demarion Hatcher, it's not going to be an easy race to win.
Especially when he's able to get a lead over there at third base. It just allows him to move be that much quicker to home. Tough break for the Vikings.
4th pitch of the at-bat is a ball to Isaiah White. 3-1 now. He deals again. White takes a hack out of that one. Doesn't come up with anything. Full count. You desperately need this out here if you're the Vikings. I haven't seen any movement towards the bullpen, and I don't even think you have anyone to go over to the bullpen, Griffin.
No, we do not. as it's actually Anthony Mangano here today. David Anderson is not here today, so Mangano is actually the only guy available. So we will probably be seeing Cumsey, as he strikes out right there.
And that one's going to be strike 3. It doesn't even look like the umpire was confident in the call out, but White will return to the dugout, his second strikeout of the day, both of them looking for the first out of the inning, and the out you so desperately needed if your Vikings was there.
Absolutely. Still a runner on second, though. It's Denton, who's already 1 for 1 today. Hit that huge double earlier.
So just a runner on second now in the form of Ian Farrell after the E6 and the stolen base. Brings up Denton now, the first baseman today for the Oilmen. Has reached base twice today. He's also scored twice today. He walked his first time up, made his way around the base path, and doubled previously back in the second inning and scored on that one as well.
And Denton really is the definition of a consummate professional. Every time you have a conversation with this guy, he really understands not just the game of baseball, but everything that's around it. He's got a great attitude, great personality, and he's just someone they're happy to have around the clubhouse.
And I would argue, and I think there's some people who would argue as well, that's kind of the first thing you do need if you want to be a ball player is attitude and personality. Anybody can hit, anybody can catch a fly ball, anybody can throw a baseball, but if you don't have the right mindset going into every game, it's going to be a rough go for you. That one called strike makes it 2-1 now here to Denton. And he's been an absolute joy to watch too, Charlie, coming in late this season. He's only had 9 games played, only 44 plate appearances, but out of that, 10 hits, a .278 batting average, .364 on base percentage. He's got 9 RBIs on the season, has an option to go double digits in the RBI column here. Losing a lot of natural light here at Oil City. Still got a little bit of it in center field, but the lights are a majority of the illumination here today. I don't think the eternal flame in center is offering much either. Two balls, 2 strikes with a runner on second, and this one thrown out of the plate for 3-2. Full count now to Denton. He's reached base every time he's been up today. And he doesn't there as he swings and misses through that one. Back-to-back strikeouts for Caden Cumsey. And this is something we've seen a little bit today, Griffin, at numerous points where Cumsey has stretches where he's a very, very difficult pitcher to go up against. But the consistency aspect of it is really where he's lacking focus.
Yeah, and unfortunately, 5 runs given up already. He's not pitching a bad game other than that. He's limited his walks after that first inning. But, since then, he is throwing strikes, though, and unfortunately for him, the Oilmen just keep finding him, putting the bat on the ball.
Cumsey currently with 5 strikeouts on the night and only 2 walks, both of them back in the first inning. So he's done a good job, and Charlie talks about this a lot, of allowing his defense to do the work for him. Jake Levine has to matrix his way out of that one, 1-1. Levine, another guy who's also reached base both times up today. Back at the first, he singled and reached third, and in the second, he reached on an E3. That basket catch gone wrong by Lund. And called time, that one definitely would have been a strike of the day. So 1-1 still here with 2 outs and a runner on. Cumsey looks back, deals again. This one inside nearly clipped the arm of Levine. It doesn't. Make it 2-1 here.
That time call definitely just put Cumsey unbalanced.
Yeah, and that's the one thing. People talk about this a lot, and a lot of pitchers will tell you this as well. If you ever get a time called on you in the middle of your form, throw the ball anyway, because forcing yourself to break and stop will actually injure you in some sort of way. It'll just throw your body movements off a little bit. You'll take one bagged step, slip on the mound, tweak your ankle, tweak your foot, throw off your shoulder a little bit, maybe tear a pec muscle. So if you ever have a situation where you get called time, just throw the baseball anyway. Your catcher's ready for it. Most of the time, your catcher actually is the last person to hear the timeout call because an umpire will make the waving gesture first and then verbally say it. So the catcher is usually the last guy to know. And this one thrown at the head of Levine. He gets out of the way just in time. Brenner's going to go out there and give him a tap on the side, let him know it wasn't intentional. But full count now with 2 outs, runner on second.
This pitch right here will be pitch number 84 for Cumsey. Definitely feeling some fatigue. So that is a lot of pitches through 4.
He needs to get out of this inning quickly and get some water and get some air. That one into the dirt there. And Levine will walk over to first. So runner on first and second now, and Emmanuel Scott will step up to the plate, Charlie.
Yeah, and for Emmanuel Scott, again, he's a guy who leads this team in strikeouts looking. So if you are a pitcher facing him, getting ahead in that count is very important because you know he's likely to take a pitch in a high leverage situation near the outside. He might let one go by that a lot of people won't.
It's not even that Emmanuel Scott leads his team in strikeouts looking. He leads the team in strikeouts, period, as he pops this one up to left field, and the catch will be made by Bendis. And so that will end the 4th inning, and we will head into the top of the 5th, where we will talk about today in sports history when we return.
We don't go to the office. We build it. This is a truism with Ironworkers Local 395 and the Northwest Indiana Contractors Association. Our goal is to exceed our customers' expectations. We provide a skilled, OSHA-trained, drug-free workforce, as well as many other certifications from our 4-year training program. Every time you hire an ironworker from Local 395, you should feel confident that you are receiving highly trained, highly skilled, and drug-free journeymen and apprentices who take their job and your project seriously. For more information, contact us at 219-763-7900 or ironworkers395.com.
BP's natural gas teams use Smart App technology to share data from any well instantly, so they can analyze trends and stop potential problems in their tracks, because safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better.
Folks, today's a good day if you live in Indiana, as today it is now legal to have happy hour across the state of Indiana, and every happy hour needs one thing. Charlie, what does it need?
Drinking responsibly.
Okay, all right.
Sorry, that's usually
Miller
my
Lite.
line.
Thank you. 5th inning brought to you by Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling, and as always, this is the time now.
Now it is.
Yeah.
Drink responsibly.
I had it. too early.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let's try one more time.
Hang on, let's do the cue card.
Let's try it one more time. And as always, Charlie, what do they have to do?
Drink responsibly.
There we go. 5th inning also means it's time for Today in Sports History, the section of this broadcast where the next time you go out for happy hour, maybe it's today, you can be a little bit smarter next time you go hang out with your friends and get yourselves a Miller Lite. Today in sports history, some relatively recent things in modern times. None of us anything we were alive for, but still. 1987, Mark McGwire becomes the first rookie to hit 30 home runs before the All-Star game.
Wow.
So definitely hitting the baseball there. 1991, the Rockies and the Marlins are approved as new NL franchises in baseball. And in 1993, Rickey Henderson leads off both games of a doubleheader with a home run. Rickey likes that. Rickey likes that a lot.
Rickey enjoyed that, I'm sure.
Rickey really did enjoy that. But that was Today in Sports History. Tune in every broadcast during the 5th inning to become a little bit smarter next time you go and grab a Miller Lite with your friends at the bar. Next segment is in the 7th inning when Charlie will try to be immaculate with baseball's immaculate grid. We might not even get to a 7th inning. Hopefully the Vikings hang out just long enough We actually, and for those of you wondering who were paying attention to the Elkhart County game, me and Charlie did, in fact, give Mike Jones his Dr. Pepper. So
you got him
held
this
up.
time. I'll get him next time.
We held up. Again, I was giving us a we, all right? You don't got to single yourself out.
All right.
This one struck out there from Mangano. He returns to the dugout. Mangano goes 1 for 3 on the day with 2 strikeouts. That brings up Engel here for the Vikings. And this one gets popped up into center field. Henschel tracks it down and makes the grab. It's tough to get anything by him. And for the second out of the 5th inning.
Yeah, he is what you could describe as a diligent outfielder. There is nothing that slips through the cracks on that guy.
And it's really tough. I'll say this. It's tough for outfielders to stay focused. Because on a good day, they don't do anything. Right.
That is true.
And so in order to maintain focus and always be an active part of the game, and there's more things going on if you're an outfielder, specifically if you're a right fielder, backup throws to first, every play on the infield, you just don't get to stand around. You got to go in and move around. And same thing goes for center and left. There's a lot of movement, and it's something you might not pay attention to if you're if you focus on the baseball during a baseball game. But next time there's an infield play, watch the outfield, and you'll see a lot more movement than you'd expect. This one gets put over to second and tossed over to first for the out. So Haggerty goes 3 up, 3 down for the first time today here in the top of the 5th inning. And we will head to the bottom of the 5th when we return here on the Oilmen Sports.
Do you like to work with your hands, creating something from nothing? Then think about Laborers Local 41. You'll get 432 hours of apprenticeship training, all while earning a wage with benefits and incurring no student debt. You'll travel to different job sites, learn tons of skills, and in a lot of cases, be the first one on and the last one off a job site. It all starts at laborers41.com.
Don't let pain knock you out of the ring. Our hand, wrist, and elbow experts are pioneers worldwide. You need us in your corner. Midwest Orthopedics at Rush. Make an appointment today.
Bottom of the 5th here from Oil City. And it looks like Cumsey is still going to be on the mound here. Griffin, does he have much left in him? I know you said he's around 80 pitches. I'm going to look at your phone here. He's at 85. Do you know how much he can really go for?
I saw Anthony Mangano go to the bullpen. He's playing a little catch right now with Owen Bennison left, probably just trying to stay a little bit warm. I would say if this inning goes well for Cumsey, we might see him again, but bearing how this game has gone so far, I think this may be his last inning of work. As he is at 85 pitches, a lot of pitches through 4 innings of work.
Yeah, and I mean it's important to note in this contest how there has been a lot of back and forth. Even though this has been, the Oilmen took the lead and have had it. That one inning, there was a lot of flaws shown by the Oilmen team. No errors, but still allowing those walks and then being able to have some timely hitting. But I feel like it's also worthy of note when you looked at that score bug there. 4 hits for each team. One's been able to get 5 off of it, one's been able to get 2, and that's just been a difference of making the little things right. You're walking in the right situations, taking the right pitches, and if you are the Vikings, you need to just get through these innings without those little mistakes like walking and hitting batters.
I say this a lot where in reality, the game that's closest related to baseball, in fact, is chess, where every move really does count, and sometimes your opponent does something, and if it's a wrong move, and if you catch it, you really have to capitalize on it, and the Oilmen have done that today. And that will bring up Ryan Henschel, center fielder today. This one down. This one down into the dirt there for ball one, and you can tell Cumsey is really struggling on the control ends of things, and even last inning, and you can see it continue here in the bottom of the fifth.
Yeah, by the time he's probably done with or maybe with this inning at least over 100 pitches, over 100 balls too, right there. We're going to see a lot of fatigue early on. We saw it last inning. He's kind of having trouble being able to locate that fastball, and that fastball is the main setup pitch for him.
2 balls, no strikes. That one just inside, had a little bit of movement on it, but can't touch the zone. Makes it 3-0. If you're Henschel here, the green light more than likely off. It's probably glowing red. 3 balls, no strikes to Henschel, and he puts that one into play right up the middle, a short squib. That one gets picked up by Engel and tossed over. And throw into second, not in time. So highway robbery from Henschel, and this time on the offensive sides of things. It's going to go down as an E4 in the scorebook if you're following along, and that will be the last we see of Caden Cumsey, maybe just trying to buy some time for the bullpen. And so head coach Mike Hunt will go to the mound.
Coach Jake Hunt.
Jake Hunt, excuse me. Pardon me. And that will be the last we see of Caden Cumsey as the ball is handed off.
There's a shortage of roofers across the country. Here at Roofers Local 26, our signatory contractors are in need of a well-trained workforce, and it's our job to provide that workforce. We are looking for people that are self-motivated, people that are reliable, people that are willing to give a hard day's work. In return, they get a good paycheck with good benefits. This is not a job, this is a career. If you're willing to put the time and dedication in, we're willing to provide you the tools and training necessary for you to succeed in the roofing industry. We've been doing this for almost 100 years. We know how to get the job done.
And we're back. Anthony Mangano out there. Mangano's last appearance was when he played the Elkhart Miracle. Didn't do a bad job, gave up 4 runs. Unfortunately, Vikings did lose that game due to a walk-off. And he's coming in with some trouble, as Henschel actually got the green light on that 3-0 count, Charlie. And, a Parker Engel error led from what could have been maybe a ground out to a stand-up double on an error.
Yeah, and I mean, here's the thing about a situation like that. He's from Illinois. He's used to red light cameras. He heard here in Indiana they don't have them.
Yeah.
No consequences. So he said, you know what, it's 3-0. Coach is giving me the green light. He's giving me the red light. I don't care. I'm going anyway.
Yeah.
Does a nice job of finding his way over there. He might have had a chance to beat that out at first either way.
He was pretty close, I will say.
But didn't end up mattering. So that's all that matters. You find your way over.
That'll be Andrew Gould up next to bat. Mangano still getting a little bit of work out there.
And it is worthy of note, I feel like we just have to be clear. This is not the Nick Mangano that's been playing shortstop. This is Mangano 2, the sequel.
Yes, and on
is it brothers, right?
Yes.
Older or younger? Which one is which?
Anthony, I think, is older. One of them is older by a year. If I check my notes.
One of them is older.
That would make him Mangano 1.
That is a fact.
Yeah, but actually they both played against the Miracle. Anthony started out and there weren't enough pitchers, so Nick came in to end that game. Oh, wow.
And this one gets put to left field. No one really knows what's going on. And everyone's kind of a little bit confused there.
I don't think Bendis caught that. I think everybody else thought he did.
Well, if it hits the ground, it sounds like a hit to me.
So that brings up Razai here, the brick monster for the Oilmen. Henschel is standing on third, Gould on second. And Razai, who homered his first time up, struck out previously against Cumsey. And that one put outside for ball one.
Oh, sort of a weird first pitch for Anthony Mangano right there. It's his third one right there. Piles in for a ball inside. Yeah, there are no more pitchers for the discretion of the Vikings. So,
well, that's
well, yeah.
You don't have actual pitchers. You do have people who can pitch.
Yes,
including you. Get out there right now.
You know, if Coach Hunt, he did ask me last week. You know, eventually he might need me. So, I've played professional baseball since my freshman year of high school.
I don't even think that's considered professional baseball, but
oh yeah, I should let me retract.
Organized baseball.
Organized
is the term,
baseball.
Yeah. This one gets hit hard into left, but it will go foul without a doubt about it. Stays in the park, though. That definitely was a home run ball, Hayden Myers just said. I agree.
So if you're going to give somebody a green light 3-0, maybe give it to the guy that did just hit the home run earlier in this game, and he showed you why, even though he was a little early on it.
And that one is ball four as Razai will head over to first on the walk. He'll bring up Z Hatcher here for the Oilmen with bases loaded and no outs. And if you want to end this game early due to a mercy rule here, this would be the time to do it. No outs with the bases loaded in a 5-2 ball game.
Still got a lot of work to get there with it only being a 3-run game, but definitely some timely hitting could put you in a position like that for sure.
First pitch, a strike to Hatcher. This one gets popped up. Hatcher not happy with himself as this one drops into the glove of Angle. No, by the way, no defensive changes anywhere else, right? Mangano becomes the DH and the pitcher, correct?
Yes.
All right, just making sure.
Yeah, Coach Hunt told me, he's like, if I knew they are missing a player, James Kirk, unable to make it today. He said if I knew Kirk wasn't going, I'd be able to bat for myself. As Jake Hunt went 1 for 4 against the Elkhart Miracle with a double. He hit it off of their assistant coach, Pablo Ruiz.
There's something about any time a Northern League team plays the Northern League, the coaches just become like, you know,
these are baseball guys.
Yeah, these guys used to play ball.
No, but like they become good baseball. Like the point I'm trying to make is they just don't go out there and fill a position. They play really well. Maybe it's the age and the experience. 1 out now due to the pop out from Hatcher. Brings up Ian Farrell. Takes the first pitch ball. And the benefit here for the Vikings is going up against Cumsey, they went a couple times through the lineup and had really good at-bats against him. But now that you face a different pitcher, you're going to have to relearn that arm slot and re-see how the ball goes. As that one makes it 2-1. Lineup due to reset after this, White, Denton, and Levine. Still got guys on the bench here for the Oilmen. Couch, who is coming in relief after Haggerty, if he doesn't go the full 9 yards. And Noah Caceres is on the bench today. Makes it 2-2. And this one gets sent high into center field. And going to be tracked on and caught. Runner's going to come home from third. Henschel will score. Runner moves over to third in Gould. So Henschel scores, Gould on third, and Razai stays at first from the sacrifice flyout from Ian Farrell. And that one was hit almost right behind second base, but left fielder Owen Bendis ran all the way over to grab it. He must have been the only one who had a good look at it.
Yeah, especially when you're coming in with that amount of speed. You're basically trying to angle yourself to that baseball.
You're also maybe the goal might be that much speed you build up to have your momentum with your body for the throw home. Just not in time there. Runner goes from first, throw down is way into right field as Damon Brenna tries to play catch with Allred in center. And there will be an extra base on that one as Razai, who was just supposed to take second, goes to third. Gould will scored. And it's Isaiah White who came up to bat. So it should be 1-0 now. Or is it 0-1? Oh, a swing?
Yeah, I think he swung and missed on that.
So a delay. So potentially a hit and run play there from the Oilmen is no good, but the runners still come across. They're going to do some maintenance now. Siri, play the Home Depot theme song.
Am I Siri in this?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't know how to make that happen because I managed to lose our other camera as well. So.
Well,
I know.
That's all right. It happens to me all the time.
Unfortunately, now all we have is this camera facing the field or the one looking at me, and I promise you no one wants to see it. I
promise you everyone wants to see it.
I will protect the camera 3 button on this changer with my life.
And this one gets sent over to short. Toss over to first for the out. Run does not count at home, so White ground outs there. And it makes it a 7-2 ball game as we head into the top of the 6th when we return here on the Oilman Sports Network.
There's a shortage of roofers across the country. Here at Roofers Local 26, our signatory contractors are in need of a well-trained workforce, and it's our job to provide that workforce. We are looking for people that are self-motivated, people that are reliable, people that are willing to give a hard day's work. In return, they get a good paycheck with good benefits. This is not a job, this is a career. If you're willing to put the time and dedication in, we're willing to provide you the tools and training necessary for you to succeed in the roofing industry. We've been doing this for almost 100 years. We know how to get the job done.
Time to grab some popcorn and crack open a Miller Lite and have yourself some Couch as he steps onto the mound here in the 6th inning. Cam Couch coming in relief here for the Oilmen. 3 innings pitched on the season, only 1 game played. He's only had 52 pitches thrown, only faced 13 batters. Charlie, what can you tell us about the young man on the mound?
Well, what I can tell you about the young man on the mound is he's very familiar with Coach Zunkel. He's played with him, and he was his travel ball coach, I believe, actually, for a couple of seasons before coming here. We've only seen Couch in 1 appearance, 3 innings. He threw 52 pitches, picked up a save, gave up 1 hit and 1 run unearned while walking 2, striking out 3. So he's got some pretty darn good stuff. He's managed to do a good job of, and it's a small sample size, but stranding the base runners that he does allow, and he produces a lot of soft contact from what we saw earlier on.
And that's one thing that is really good here with the Oilmen, a good defensive lineup today, not your standard guys you see out there on the... I forgot how to count all of a sudden. Excuse me, the back 7, pardon me. Back 7's been really good today, not the normal amount of guys you would have thrown out there, not the, best guys. If you had to go through the lineup and say, I want this guy at second, this guy at third, this wouldn't be who you would throw out there, but they've been really good today. And first pitch from Couch is a strike to Lund. And that one going to be a ball for 1-1. Lund so far today walked his first time up, had a single his last, made it all the way over to third, but was thrown out of a result of the very classic 2-5. Got caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
Seems to happen.
What is it? Why is it? Let me ask you something. Why is it mothers across the world can hear when that cookie jar opens from wherever they are in the house? Never made sense to me. That they like the mothers. If there's any mothers who could tell us how you guys know the cookie jar is being opened, do you guys have sensors on the cookie jar? Is there lasers? Good pitch there from Cam Couch.
Yeah, my mom never had a cookie jar. I didn't know that was something that moms regularly did. My grandma and grandpa have one that's shaped like a rotund cat.
Interesting. There's people who collect cookie jars as this one gets sent out to left field, and Henschel isn't able to track that one down. It goes back to the White Castle banner. Runner will go into second and pump the brakes. So a double there for Lund. Gets the wheels potentially moving here for the Vikings.
Left fielder number 25, Owen Bendis.
I was pretty impressed with what I just saw there from him because he hit that ball right on the screws to a really deep part of left center field. Probably traveled about 365, 370 in the air. That's a really hard hit ball. Nice work.
Yeah, you gave that a good drive.
That one probably just still a hit even at Dowling Park. The left center dimensions are pretty similar, including right field's pretty similar as well to Dowling Park. But still a big hit no matter what field you're playing on. Brings up Bendis now. Griffin, did your mother ever have a cookie jar that was shaped in a weird fashion?
No, it was just a regular cookie jar, if anything. I wish, Charlie said his grandparents, the cat one. I'm really interested to see what that looks like.
A rotund cat, no less.
Is a
rotund is fat.
Okay. I was gonna say I didn't know if that was a type of.
It's not
cat.
a kind of cat. It is a kind of cat.
I mean, it is a kind of a cat. It's kind of a fat cat.
It's also worthy of
My mom
never had a cat.
My mom has two of them. I don't know. I know where the second one came from. I don't know where the first one came from, but she has two of them. They're identical. They're apples.
Ooh.
They're like pastel colored apples. This one gets sent high into the air into shallow left field, and the catch is going to be made by the backtracking Ian Farrell for the first out of the inning. Hayden, how about you? You're a little bit more. Oh, he's talking. Pardon me. Hayden, you're a little bit more country than some of us city boys up here. Did your mom have an interesting cookie jar?
We didn't have a cookie jar. We had a cabinet that had all like the packages of cookies and chips Ahoy.
Okay, it's called a pantry, and
It's got a good point.
Was it like a Lazy Susan type cabinet?
Hunter, any unique cookie jars in your house growing up? Also had a pantry and a Lazy Susan. Okay.
And I'll tell you this right now. Part of the reason why we didn't need one is because my mom she doesn't make cookies, but we always have cookie dough because she just eats the squares of it.
Interesting. I don't believe the Surgeon General says that's healthy for you, but you know what? I understand.
No one's stopping.
It's delicious. Have you had it?
Oh, I mean, yeah,
It's
absolutely.
marvelous, I gotta tell
Absolutely.
you.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's dangerous.
Look, man, I'd rather go down eating raw cookie dough that doesn't have eggs in it.
You know what? I want to know. Listen. Let me tell you. Let me ask something. You know what? I think salmonella and cookie dough is a myth by big pharma. I don't know a single person who's ever gotten salmonella from eating raw cookie dough.
And I know a lot of people who've eaten a lot of cookie dough.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying.
What's your guys' favorite type of cookie? Or I should say, what's your favorite brand of cookie?
Oh, brand
of
cookie.
Or like
break and bake?
You could say like, no, I mean like Oreo, or you could say like
Keebler.
Keebler.
All right, good question.
Keebler Elf.
I grew up on the Keebler
has
fudge
some
stripes.
Keebler has a bunch of unique options that I really like. Oh, I can tell you definitively, the best brand of any baked goods is Pepperidge Farm.
I was about to say Pepperidge Farm.
Specifically, if we're going for cookie, like their chocolate chip cookies are good. However, the Milano cookies, the two ones with it's kind of like a reverse Oreo, where the outsides are a white cookie and then the inside's a chocolate.
It's like a biscuit.
This one over to third, picked up by Farrell and tossed over to second and first for the out. Going Farrell on the infield. And that's going to end the top of the sixth inning. We'll head to the bottom six when we return here on the Oilmen Sports Network.